Namaste, Assalam Shalom, Star Family of Light. Welcome to my channel, Indigo Angel. This is a galactic energy update for quantum expanded consciousness and starseeds, those who are sovereign, awakened, and aware of their fourth dimensional waking self sphere and their ancestral soul genetics existing in expanded aspects of their multidimensional selves and internally living outside of the implanted programmed matrix of the Gregorian, negative alien agenda, patriarchal programs, and pretty much the experimentation of the psychological warfare of consciousness on this beautiful living library. So welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome, and if you've been supporting me and commenting on my work and sending me messages, welcome as well, and I appreciate all of the love and support that I do get. I do this because I believe in sharing knowledge. I believe in expanding the consciousness of the collective. I believe in being a light worker. I believe in being in service. I am in service. I am in mission. I dedicate all of the free time that I have when I'm not doing my light work at my job, which is for a nonprofit. And we assist and service the old and the disabled and the mentally ill with their dental needs. And in my free time, other than that, I'm working to assist the collective with activations and through Reiki healings and through energy healings. See, I just cleared something in my throat chakra just there. But I'm essentially just committing my life full time to light work. So because that's the way that I can help and contribute to the ascension of Gaia. And I'm sure all of you who's listening who are a light worker and you resonate with me on a soul level, if you're soul family, if you're soul tribe, that you know what I'm talking about. Like, this is like our way of like contributing to all of this. So I just got off topic there a little bit, but so I use the Mayan calendar as this best demonstrates as a living system itself and the simultaneous etheric astral planetary cyclical truest nature of Gaia. So instead of going off 12 uneven months of the Gregorian calendar, which was created by the Emperor of Rome, which is a fraudulent timekeeping system that essentially locks perceptions into a fixed program that exacerbates the feeding off of the instantly weakened energy system. By following an implanted false system, our conscious mind is like going every day of our life following something that doesn't really align to our truest nature. So like our body's going through these cycles and these systems, but it's not aligning to like what our mind is thinking. And so like the energy system is just instantly weakened. It's instantly like penetratable. So you can see how like these negative alien agendas are just so like woven into so many aspects of the human. So the Mayan, which has been followed cross-culturally for over 5,000 years by the Druids, the Egyptians, the Chinese, the Native American tribes, it divides the 365 days of the year into a even, harmonious 13 months of 28-day cycles, which almost completely aligns to the Western astrological stargates, but not quite. So right there, that kind of shows you where the manipulation in our astrological system, which is based off the 12-dimensional houses of the Gregorian, excluding the 13th sign of Cephagus. The number 13 represents the power of movement. So we have 13 major articulation joints that allows our body to move. The 13th is like the last piece in the circle or something. It's like they removed the 13 so we can't have like movement of energy. Like we can't come full circle, we can't come full cycle, because there's always like that missing chink in the chain, and that's like part of breaking down that energy system. So when you like it's like finding the key and like putting it back in to like the lock. It's like you found the key, and then you like plug the key in, and then the whole circle lights up and it's activated. So like the 13 joints are the 2 knees, the 2 ankles, the 2 hips, the 2 wrists, the 2 elbows, the 2 shoulders, and the spine and neck. So once you find, the chink in the chain that was missing and plug that back in, all the energy can now move and flow through all of the articulation joints in the body. That's also why the number 13 has been cast a demonic and superstitious number to steer you away from honoring your harmonious totality and numerological sacred geometric self. That's why 1111 constantly shows up everywhere to pull the linear mind out of perfection. It activates you to the awareness of your twin flame activation. It activates you to the awareness of Stargate ascensions and going through portals and activating new timelines. It allows you to see outside of the illusion and activates your awareness to the activations that are playing out. It's like the difference from switching into it's the difference to switching into full perception of the right and the left brain. It's like you've only been seeing left for so long, and now the signs of right are penetrating you and bringing you into full brain perceptions. So you will notice that I like to incorporate planetary systems and cycles, but I don't really like to go into the details of astrology because, for one, it's like a shit ton of details, and to me, as an expanded galactic, details I feel like lock you more into those like human egoic perceptions, because it's not really about the details. Like if we need a lot of details, it's usually like leading us into like victim stories, or it's not honoring like the source energy of what it actually is. So like once you become fully activated, it's really all about just cutting straight to source energy. Like, what is the source energy? You know what I mean? So we're always coming back to the source of the energy. So to me, like, the details of astrology, because it's not really anchored in mission and it's not really anchored in true harmonic alignment because of the manipulation, I feel it actually can trigger and feed the discord to play out inside your physical body. I kind of feel like that's why so much of the collective like doesn't like astrology or doesn't honor astrology, or maybe there's something inside of them that makes them feel like you believe in that crap. Like, I know everybody has met somebody, like if you're somebody who really likes astrology, you've met someone else who is like, I don't believe in that crap, or I don't believe in that shit, or you believe in astrology, or like they'll actually make you feel like you're stupid because you actually like to talk about it. You like to, think about it and apply it to your life. Like, I feel like it's because like it's already causing like a discord somewhere, just because it's like a manipulated system. Like, I do think that all of the planetary cycles and planetary rulers and planetary like positions and alignments and retrogrades and things like that are like guiding us on a planetary consciousness level, on a galactic level, on a quantum level, on all these different levels within the psyche and the consciousness of the human brain. But at the same time, like, the details of it are like what keep us locked in more of that linear need to control everything like mentality. So anyways, I'm getting off on like a tangent here. So like I said, I just feel like it triggers and it kind of feeds the discord to play out inside the physical body, to break down those perceptions of linear time again, kind of entering us into like another cyclical way of like thinking. So it's just all about discernment and transcendence ultimately. But so if we actually applied Thoth numerology to everything, it would completely change everything. Birthdays, destiny numbers. I just consciously perceive the Mayan to be the most harmonic way to measure time cells according to the laws of nature and rhythmic echoes inside the body and quantum physics and one collective cosmic akash that's clearly opened up, transmitting much higher gamma frequency. And even like nuclear frequency. So for so many are tuning tonally even more with these ever more thinning veils of introspection. So when you actually apply the Mayan system to your world, it becomes a living system. It literally pulls you out of the Gregorian and into the Mayan, which is like a fourth dimensional waking existence, and it becomes illuminated in your reality. And it illuminates the portal to your fourth dimensional light body, your starship, your Merkaba, your crystalline body, connecting you and dialing you into stargates on a quantum molecular plasmic plane to your fourth, fifth, sixth, and beyond dimensional self. These dimensional selves are buried deep underneath the programming, the veils of distortions and distractions, attachments, hooks, belief systems, etc. Ascension essentially becoming the process of fully conscious awakened life review from an expanded perspective. It's the process of breaking down everything that you thought you were and evolving into sovereignty. And I have a friend who messaged me the other night and was like, fuck Ascension. Ascension fucking sucks. Like, yeah, it's not an easy process. It is like a constant life review. And you are like constantly hurt by your own ego. Many deaths inside. This is about dying inside and being rebirthed many times. And every time you rebirth a new reality and of a higher dimensional aspect of you, because like these deaths are like profound ego deaths. Like you hurt yourself, like taking you out in the bed for like a few days type of stuff. So it's not a pretty process. This is a process of like experiencing the reality and the intensity and the physicality of your manifestations, of your karma, of your cycles, of your delusions, of your illusions, of all of these like aspects of your programming, essentially. So like it's a lot to see as the veil is thin, and it can really break you down. So I have some tips and stuff for that I'm going to kind of go over, because it's all about purification. So the energies for this time cell of the electric moon of service from September 20th to October 17th, 2018. The electric tone represents the sacred Trinity. The electric tone brings us into, it moves us beyond polarity. Its roots stem from the meaning of multiplicity, creative power, and growth, harnessing the challenges from the previous time cell of the lunar moon of challenge. So last time cell was like a highly magnetic, challenging lunar moon. So you'll find that you're probably drawing energy in last month. You were probably like pulling a lot within, making you go deeper and deeper and deeper within the subconscious. There might have even been like a couple breaking points. Like I know for me, there was definitely like a few days where I was walking in void spaces and density. This time cell is like lifting us from that, because of the Equinox gateway. 3 is like when we tune into the energy of 3, into the frequency of 3, it's moving forward of this energy. So a highly activating time cell. It's going to be very bonding of energy and more expansive of those who are getting into service on soul mission, which requires putting in lots of work and stepping up into leadership roles and being the way shower. But you are going to feel like a surge of empowerment. You're going to feel yourself coming into this like very humble gratitude, all-encompassing light, just being in awe like a child, being your past, present, and future in this now. So profound empowerment. being like your future self now, like seeing your unlimited infinite potentials and harnessing that energy now. Being your divine masculine, divine feminine, and divine child in this now. 3 it's like a heavenly number. It represents the soul, and 4 represents the physical body. So if you watched my Arcturian message, the galactic center was tuning me to speak of the frequency of the 3s, activating the triqueta or the triad. And I'll also actually be doing an Elohim activation tomorrow on the Equinox, activating expanded dimensions of the triad as well. So if you're consciously doing activations and keeping the body's vibration up, you might want to check out that activation that I'm about to put out tomorrow. It will act you on a quantum level within your toroidal field, within your hologram, and it will be highly activating. So I recommend checking that out. But I'll be putting all of this out on Saturn Day. Okay, so look for my Elohim activation. But we also have this Equinox gateway, a time when the sun aligns with the equator. It reduces the polarity on Earth's electromagnetic field, hence aligning to the electric solar tones and the frequency of 3. So overall, the month is really just kind of like this hodgepodge of shifting galactic rhythmic energies and overtones and all cosmic vibrations from the galactic center. I mean, it's a lot to go over on a quantum level because we're shifting collectively based off of our soul genetic, our bloodline, our blood type, how much toxicity we carry in our blood, where you're at on your ascension path, and how much physical density you carry in your cellular structure and in the body, and also like how much crystallized structure you hold within. So because the energies are shifting like every other day, I mean, it's like I hear Arcturus stargates dialing now, but I'm also hear Orion. It's like the shifts are like same day. They're running multiple timelines and dimensions simultaneously. All creational dimensions are simultaneously existing on Earth now. So like if you're a highly sensitive empath, or you're a starseed, you're really just an open conduit to all of these cosmic energies that are constantly shifting. So it's really hard to go into the details. I mean, there's so many like planetary shifts, astrological shifts, cosmic shifts and integrations of these energies, and there are no limitation and there is no separation. So if you're an open channel, like I said, you're going to be tuning and picking up. You're like an antenna, just like picking up on all of it. So like if you're highly multidimensional, it can be really, really, really hard to focus yourself to actually anchor in structure. Because all forms matter, structure matters too. So we have to be honoring these aspects as well. So because the energies are shifting like every other day, multiple timelines are running and dimensions simultaneously and dialing simultaneously and tuning simultaneously. It is the new now. So it's a never-ending cosmic tuning. So high Kundalini activations, lots of deja vu, lots of Mandela effects, lots of ascension symptoms. They'll be highly activated. Flu, frequency light upgrades. So the more you hold physically in the body, illusions, attachments, implants, entities, anger, betrayal, shame, guilt, fear, old emotions, old programming, old matrix programming, dis-ease in the body, discord, chaos, duality, all that shit has to come up and out of the body. It's a constant detoxification, a conscious detoxification on so many levels of the body: spiritual body, emotional body, physical body, etheric body, astral body, planetary body, crystal body, plasmic body, because your blood is essentially heightened. you're essentially like an illuminated being. You are so sensitive that you can feel the toxicity inside of you. You feel it talking to you. You know where it's at. You know exactly where you carry that shit in your body because you feel it. So some of the ascension symptoms can look like ringing in the ears, headaches, sinus. The biggest thing for me actually is just feeling my light body being activated, almost like my blood is glowing. It's like a dull all over body ache that can actually take days to clear. I'll get like a slight nausea. Won't be able to eat. I'll have to go fully on a detox. I'll be really highly sensitive to my electronics, getting like headaches, watery eyes, squinting. Noises will bother me. Smells, really sensitive to smells and chemicals. That's the biggest thing for me. Like, I can't even really walk in the chemical aisle in a grocery store. It makes me feel like I'm going to throw up. All of my products in my home, I've had to switch to all organic. I can't use chemical laundry detergent, chemical shampoo, chemical soap, nothing. Everything has to be all natural because I feel it so profoundly, and it makes me sick. It makes the detox even harder. So not being able to eat and fasting, detoxing being the only thing that really clears the heightened DNA. These cosmic tones exacerbate this inside of you. They exacerbate the distortions to bring things that are out of alignment and make them visible for you to see them so you can clear them. The light obliterates the old that's attached to and hooked deeply and embedded in the cells of the body. Things starting to play out in your physical reality for you to see where you hold it inside. All of this intensified through these daily shifts. It's essentially tuning all of the discord frequency. It's like an epidemic of everyone being blasted with photonic cosmic light. Earth Gaia is also tuning and playing out distortions inside of her, and we're linking up to her. Her voice is getting louder. Like, we're tuning more into the pollution. We're tuning more into recycling. We're tuning more into like being one with nature and like caring about her, because like we hear her voice. We hear it through the animals. We hear it through the wind. We hear it through the native indigenous people, and they're fighting for their rights and their land and their water. We feel it through the oceans. I know as a divine feminine, I feel the ocean in my womb. I feel very connected to the tides and the magnetic pull that the moon and the ocean draw. And sometimes I feel like my entire womb is toxic. And I do believe that is because of the toxicity in the ocean. And we just hear her, and her voice just keeps getting louder. Like, she's showing humans that we are not in charge. And I actually hear her language, and that's why I put out the language of Gaia, is because like I hear this native avatar tongue. And it is just like Avatar. Aowana A, Aowana A. That is the way that Gaia speaks to us. And we're just kind of opening our ears and our mind and our hearts to receive her right now and to make the changes in our lives. Like, I'm really focusing on like how to stop using plastic Ziploc baggies. Like, if anybody knows like a better option to store your chopped up vegetables and fruit besides a plastic bag that will actually keep it fresh and not keep like the refrigerator musk off of it, please comment that below, because I'm trying to quit plastic bags. But basically, I've been hearing her voice speak the language of the natives, the indigenous calls, the native tongue, ringing louder with truth and passing of the holographic memory and light code exchange, and activating to that on a more deeply profound emotional spiritual connection, feeling the galactic civilizations we carry inside and these footsteps of our ancestors, and these powerful parties of the ancient indigenous that are motivating energies activating inside and moving through the 13 articulating joints. We also have the full moon coming up September 24th, and the new moon October 8th. So be aware and conscious through this. Consciously if there's any time that you cannot go unconscious, do not go unconscious on the new moon. Like, make that the day that you are gonna be good and you are going to really stick to those higher self aspects, because we're manifesting so much in that time, and we're planting seeds, and it's really being aware of the energy we're holding, because this is when we're kind of we're implanting karmatic time. Okay, so finishing up, we have the White Wind Wave Spell, September 29th, 2018. That's the last day. And then we shift the next day into the Blue Magnetic Eagle Wave Spell. The Blue Eagle is representing the higher collective mind, vision, creativity, planetary consciousness, starting with that geomagnetic energetic draw of the energy. And so you'll notice through this wave spell, since we are in like that energy of the Triad, that we're gonna be rising up like the eagle. So you'll literally feel like you're watching the entire world just like go through like third dimensional chaos and duality and like all of these things, and you're just like flying above it and just like watching everybody. You're just flying, and it's not like really penetrating you, and you're holding like those higher vibes through the chaoticness. And it's gonna be kind of like that draw of inspiring energy, because each wave spell starts off with a magnetic tone to draw in that for the next 13 days. So next we have the Yellow Magnetic Star Wave Spell, and that's guided by elegance. The Blue Magnetic Eagle was guided by vision. So the Yellow Magnetic Star is representing harmony and art and elegance, and this month you will truly be like inspired by the elementals and by the flowering of your manifestations. So I'm looking forward to October. It's really a beautiful month. It's my incarnation days, October 25th. So I love October. The galactic activation portal days are going to be October 4th and October 6th. Only 2 this time cell. So last time cell we had like 5 or 6, and we actually had 2 galactic activation portals back to back. But so it made the energies really intense last month, and I kind of can see why that was like the time cell of challenge. But so last month we had like 5 or 6. So this is a highly gamma, nuclear, off the charts energy surges and integrations. It's essentially a more expanded gateway in geometrics that profoundly expand. This will reconfigure the Merkaba to break down and collapse and rebuild with all new geometric structures, like literally birthing a new reality, heightened ascension symptoms and crystals in the body, turning quantum computer processing status. It's essentially linked to the 144 reconfiguration, activating full DNA potential. I have been hearing also people who I know are going through ascension are having seizures. So I've been actually hearing this a lot, and I really actually want to look more into it because it's kind of scary. I know a lot of people who are going through ascension that tell me that they've just had their first seizure. I mean, I think I've heard it from maybe 3 or 4 different people now that they've been having seizures. So I don't know what that's about or how that's connected or why that's happening. Just know you need to stay hydrated. You need to take care of the physical body and sleep with the circadian rhythms. This is so important. Like, if you are going through ascension and you are activated and awakened, like, your body is highly sensitive now to everything. Like, if you're not in its natural sleep states and cycles, like, this is highly going to mess you up. So getting into a natural cycle is best. Like I said, all wave spells start with a magnetic tone, starting with the drawing of the energy to precede that wave spell, guided by a tone and a solar tribe. The solar tribes are like archetypal energy from the cosmic Akash, functioning as evolutionary keys of the realization of human potential. archetypal energy is infinite, but there are systems that have guided us with archetypal energy. Like in the Mayan calendar, there's 20 solar tribes. But if you read the Cosmic Chronicles, they say there's 21 galactic archetypes. But if you get into like studying, Egyptian pagan mythology, Greek mythology, archetypal energy is just infinite. So it's like the Mayans just structuralize it from the cosmic Akash, functioning as the evolutionary keys of the realization of human potential. They change daily, just like the cosmic flush of platinum prime creator rays ever evolving and assisting. The 13 tones of creation form the 13-day wave spell, which represents the spiral of a time cell. So each tone representing a different day, starting with the magnetic drawing of the energy. So like I said, I've actually kind of come into this space where I'm hearing the stargates dial and attune, seeing many parallel universes simultaneously existing within the mind of Mercury. Through these plasmic planes of the 13 tones of creation, which there is actually more tones cosmically when you start getting into galactic geomagnetic frequency that are assisting the entire planet through each's ascension. And I have been shown and I have heard that this is about 15 to 16% of the planet, and that the other 84 to 85% is unconscious, unawakened. They're drones, they're robots, and even soulless. So residing primarily within the first 3 chakras of consciousness. They're residing within the first 3 chakras of consciousness, and this is either the physical consciousness, the relationship consciousness, or the self-consciousness. They don't see past those 3 dimensions. That's it. And a lot of times they're only aware of one of them, actually. I've met people, and I'm not judging, but I can see that their consciousness doesn't expand past the relationship consciousness. That's all that they will talk about, every day, is the relationship of their life. I don't even know if they have a perception of themselves. So that's what I see, that's what I feel. But the veils are highly in place. They can't see because there's veils. Or they have attachments, and they have demonic entities that are feeding off of them due to soul suppression, which is depression, which is substance abuse, primarily alcohol, cigarettes, or super demonically charged street drugs, meth, cocaine, heroin. I feel mushrooms, DMT, ayahuasca, marijuana are spiritual uplifting consciousness expanding gifts of nature and should be used at your higher self's discretion of discernment. Not saying go and do this. Use your own discernment, of course. But yes, I live in Colorado where marijuana is legal, and I have seen the benefits of marijuana on my spiritual path, allowing me to reach new heights of profound perception. So I do advocate for it. I do find the best times to use it are first thing in the morning, when I'm about to go into a meditation, after my body has spent the whole night clearing, and my mental body is rested and open to receive messages from the divine. The euphoric aspects, especially of the CBD, enhance my emotional and spiritual body, allowing more integration of light codes and decoding of holographic simultaneous parallel realities, and essentially self-checking for demonic attachments. Because yes, you need to self-check yourself all the time, every day, a self-check. Look at your triggers, look at your anxiety, look at where your body's having dis-ease. Do you have a stomach ache? Do you have pain in your spine? Do you have a backache? All of this is telling you what you're holding somewhere inside as far as your suffering. And then what is that suffering attached to? It's usually attached to a desire or an outcome or expectation. This is where your hooks get hooked into you, is there. So that's why self-checking on a daily basis is highly important, because you need the awareness of it to clear it. If you can't become aware, you cannot clear it, and then you keep replaying in those realities. It continues to consume you. So I mean, I myself still have hooks in me that I'm working on clearing, and this is about getting real with yourself. So like, you can make this ascension process easier by getting real with your own shit faster, because if you don't, your reality is going to align that for you anyways, and it's usually going to kick your ass. Just saying. So like, ascension is ultimately the path of purity, because all of these triggers of addiction feed the distortions, the attachments, the programs, the demonic entities that feed off of us as an energy source, keeping the suppression cycle timelines in place while you're consumed upon. So ultimately, you should be detoxing mostly like every day. Like for me, I'm constantly doing tea detox, dandelion root, hibiscus, ginger, turmeric, keeping the toxicity out of the bloodstream and promoting more oxygen in the blood. Live foods, fruits and vegetables, little to no death consumption, which I struggle with this inside myself so much. This is like where I struggle, because I'll go really long periods of time. I was raised on meat, so yeah, I'm like still deprogramming myself. So I will find that I do really, really good for a while. Like I'll go like an entire month without eating meat, and then I'll just have like a couple days or a week where like I have to have chicken or I have to have some turkey. I never eat pork. I never eat cow. Try to go to tofu as much as possible to like curb those cravings and desires. So this is about, on some level, becoming desireless, because Prime Creator, I believe, is desireless. And I actually struggle with this perception too, because I don't know if Prime Creator is or isn't desireless. If somebody thinks they know, comment below, because I see my perceptions flip-flopping, where I've always felt that like the one thing in the universe that created the universe was the desire to love something. But then I've also been shown through some of my visions and meditations that Lord Shiva has shown me desirelessness. So I really kind of struggle with this perception. If anybody has any like ideas on that, comment below, please. So like I said, I've been doing spirulina, do live spirulina, algae and bacteria, chlorella, aloe vera juice. I've been finding like amazing, clears my skin. High photonic absorbing consumption into your solar plexus. This is where you internalize and integrate photonic light into your second brain, which then passes the vision and downloads to the third eye or the hollow mind perceiver. We access the cosmic Akash through the foods we consume. So a profoundly healthy starseed diet is highly important. I cannot stress this enough. Also, purging, like going into a cry. If you cannot cry daily, try to find things that will help you cry, because this is going to clear your chakra body immensely, like immensely. If you can cry a little bit every day, you'll find yourself to be so much lighter. Like you will feel like you're not even in your body, that you are floating outside of your body, and you have to actually come back into your body. A daily cry is going to clear your chakra body. Finding something that connects you to the divine feminine or the frequency of compassion can usually help you with that. If you can't cry, try to sweat, like a sauna. I heard a ghetto way to sauna, especially in these really hot days, is just like sit in your car and roll your windows up for like 10 minutes. That's like a cheap man sauna. It detoxifies the body immensely and consciously. Also doing energy work on yourself. Alchemy, keeping the physical body's toxicity down so you can keep your vibration high. The less dense the physical body, the higher you ascend. The energy body becomes like this precious flower that you just don't want. You would just like do anything to keep it from wilting. So that's pretty much like how you have to view your light body and your starship and your Merkaba and your DNA is like this precious flower that you wouldn't like pour beer on, sabotage in some way. It's being conscious of this. That's going to conclude my Starseed energy update for September 20th to October 17th through the Equinox Gateway. And I hope that you resonated with these messages. I hope that I'm leaving you in a higher vibration or a higher state of expanded consciousness, one within love, one within the unified field of intelligence. And I wish you a beautiful everything. Namaste, Assalam Shalom.